What up, YouTube? Steve from Team Purple Panda. So, like you guys know, the next Tuesday, the 24th, the two big boys on the world, the big boy on the block, Inzektors and Windups is gonna be tournament legal, so they're gonna be everywhere. So, I want to spend this week and next week mainly focusing on these two archetypes because they will be dominating the next meta, and I want to make a series of videos that focuses on various builds and various tags I have for Inzektors and some for windups. So if you're interested in playing sectors, if you have if you're trying to build Inzektors right now, I definitely encourage you to pay attention to the videos coming out this week, because I will talk about a lot of cool text and whatnot, and a lot of very specific and unique builds for Inzektors. And if you're not playing Inzektors, you're not playing windups, still pay attention, because I'll also be going through actually focusing very heavily on how to counter Inzektors and how to counter windups and stay afloat in the upcoming meta. So let's go right into it. This is one of the more unique builds that I actually have for Inzektors, and this is the deck I've been practicing with last week in Sacramento, actually a little bit before that too, and I spent 2-3 weeks trying to refine this deck, and this is what I come up with. This is what I call Demi-Zektors. Essentially it's Inzektors, but you run 3-dimensional fissure. So at first glance, people are like, wait, what the hell is going on? So actually we'll break it down a little bit. I'll talk about some of the card choices I have, some of the plays that I do, and I'll finish with some matchup, like how's it do against agents, plants, mirror match, etc. So we can start a little discussion here, and I want to hear what you guys think. So let's go right into the deck list. First I run the basics: 3 Dragonfly, 3 Centipede, 3 Hornet. A lot of people's going to ask me, do we have any extra Hornet for sale? The answer is yes. Team Purple Panda do have extra Hornet for sale. These are my Japanese proxies, but I'm actually getting a set myself, and we have a few more sets coming in. Yuki's gonna get them, and we're gonna figure out how much you want for them as soon as we get them next Tuesday. So if you need Hornets, go ahead and PM me and tell me you're interested, and I'll put you on the list, and once we get them, I'll shoot you how much we want for them, and we can work from there. So again, we have Inzektor stuff if you need them. For the deck, 3 Hornet, 3 Centipede, 3 Dragonfly, pretty basic, 1 Gigamantis. People think Gigamantis is optional. Gigamantis to me is not optional, because Gigamantis, just this card right here, this is your big play machine. He allows you to go crazy with Inzektors. Believe it or not, Inzektors actually is quite slow compared to plants, compared to agents. They can't special summon that much. With Gigamantis, that all changes. You can special summon 4 or 5 times a turn, blow up 10 cards a turn. This thing single-handedly makes you big play machine. This big Platosaurus right there. Gigamantis. So unique Gigamantis. 2 Ryle. Ryle, very good. I talk about Ryle a lot. Played in almost everything I've been playing for the last year and a half. Ryle is super broken, but you have to be very careful with Ryle the upcoming meta, because there's a lot of times where they'll be able to blow your Ryle up with Inzektors that can do something, get around Ryle, a lot of stuff. They can smash it if you're playing against Dino. So if you want to play Ryle first turn, you make sure you have a Deep Prison to back you up, or Bottomless to back you up, and on top of that, make sure you have something like a Phoenix Chain to back you up, and also or Veiler to back you up, because Ryle, although he's a beast, he's getting more vulnerable because Inzektor just came out. You have your 3 Tour Guy, you have your Sangan. The 3 Tour Guy is a must in this deck. If you're going to play Dimensional Fissure in Inzektors, you have to have 3 Tour Guy, because you need to be able to recycle your Inzektors and special summon like crazy with Lavier's effect. So 3 Tour Guy is a must. You have your Dark Arm. Again, people ask me, why do I play Dark Arm when I play DeFi? How do I control my graveyard? And the thing to understand is that with Dark Arm, with Exceed, when you exceed something, if DeFi is on the field, when you exceed something and the Exceed monster gets destroyed, removed whatsoever, the Exceed material still goes to the grave. And also, if you were to exceed something, use its effect, the Exceed material still goes to the grave, even with DeFi in the field. So with that said, you can actually control the graveyard pretty easily with that Exceed engine. So Dark Arm, if you draw Dark Arm, you draw Torga, I can guarantee Dark Arm's gonna come out in a quickness. Your staples right here, your Mirror Force, the Torrential, Trap Dash Shoe is becoming a staple. This card, my friend, it's gonna be one of those things that everyone's gonna hate and run at the same time. It's gonna be the next biggest thing ever. If you see Veilers like shooting up to $30, this thing went from 5 to 10 to 15. Now it's like 20, 25, $30. Phoenix Chain is going to be the next biggest disruption card. Why is this card so good? Because not only allows you to lock down your monster's effect so it can stop their card effect, but it allows you to sit on it. So if they have like a beat stick and just kind of wrecking you with it, you can go Finish Chain and just lock down their monster and draw your outs to it. And once you have the outs, then you can like destroy that monster and then go off. Obviously it's broken in sectors because you can blow them up every single turn. However, you can start seeing Finish Chain in like agents and like pretty much a lot of the control decks out there, even especially Dyna. I'm pretty sure that Dino Rabbit, you see a lot of Finish Chain there as well. So Finish Chain, I guarantee you it's going to be the next biggest thing. You're gonna have warnings, your warning brigade, your 2 dark bribes. I honestly believe is crucial, especially in this deck. It stops the MST, it stops Heavy Storm, it stops the Dark Hole, it stops their plays, and essentially this is how I break it down. If you have Defissure on the field, that means their Veiler is dead. They can't use Veiler, they can use Maxi, and then you summon something. The only thing that they can use to stop your Dragonfly is spells and traps. Normally they only have like 1 or 2, maybe warning, maybe their own Phoenix Chain. But if you're able to like get around that, like with a counter trap and Block Bribe, then you can just that turn completely wreck their field, and just get around that one card, and you can activate Dragonfly's effect, blow something up, get some HP, blow something up, exceed, and then you can exceed for Lavier, get back something else, blow something up, and equip Gigamantis, the detach special summon, blow something up. So you can go crazy with it, and that's because you just have that Dark Bribe protection. So Bribe very crucial in this deck. Stark Road, you have a lot of back row, so definitely Stark Road, protect your monster, protect your back row. You have your Allure, your Reborn, your Dark Hole, your Book, pretty staple. And here is where it gets a little tricky. Normally I run 2 Mind Control, and I believe Mind Control is super important, especially in mirror matches, because if they activate, they activate Dragon's Fly effect, they equip Hornet, and activate Hornet's effect and tribute and try to destroy a card in your field. If you chain enemy controller, tribute your monster, and take control of their Dragonfly, something amazing happens. I'm not gonna tell you what, so do some of your own research. I can guarantee you, if you do that, and if you play Inzektor mirror match, something amazing happens. So enemy controller, very important. However, if you don't like enemy control, if you don't like plays like that, you can take the one out and replace it with Mind Control. It's also very busted in mirror matches. I actually like enemy control a lot because they actually disrupt a lot more decks. In other words, you can disrupt Dyna plays where to go Rabbit, you can just take control one of the dinosaurs and they can't make Lagia, and and end phase they go away. So it's pretty cool. So enemy controller, I love that card, but if you want, you can definitely take one out for Mind Control instead. But Mind Control is definitely in the side, and one of the MVPs of the deck, Dimensional Fissure. There are a lot of things about this deck that applies to Fissure that does not apply to a normal Inzektor deck, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I just want to cover this real quick. 3 power duality for consistency. All right, so some specific things you need to know about this deck is this. This deck does not run Veilers, does not run MST. So essentially, it relies on your Inzektors to destroy back rows, destroy front rows, and also rely on your negation. So it relies on your Dark Bribe and Solemn Judgment to negate stuff to stop your Inzektors. But more importantly, it also relies on Defissure to stop all Veilers, and it stops Maxi. So because of that, Defissure is very important because if your opponent is running, everyone's running 3 Veilers and everyone's running like at least 2-3 Maxi. As soon as you slap this thing down, all those Veilers, all those Maxi are completely dead. And all you need to worry about is one Book of Moon, a lot of times 1 Book of Moon, 2 Solemn Warning, and that's pretty much it. And again, some finishing here and there. So aside from that, that's one thing to pay attention to. The second thing to pay attention to is this. The ruling for Inzektors, actually ruling for any equip card, including unit monsters, that when a monster becomes an equip card and that card will be sent to the grave or to be destroyed and sent to the grave. Even with DeFi on the field, that card is still sent to the grave. It does not get removed because it's no longer a monster, it's an equipped card. Meaning that Hornet's effect will go around Dimensional Fissure. So when you understand that concept, you can see why how Inzektors can go around DeFi, but they can't go around macro. In other words, with DeFi out, you can still abuse everything you have in your sector and blow everything. So that's very important thing to consider. Now I'll talk about some plays with this deck and based on matchups. So let's say you're playing against let's see what I played against last week. I played against a lot of agents. Against the agents is actually pretty cool because as soon as you get out DeFi, a lot of their stuff is dead. I mean, if you can manage to remove their Earth, you remove their Venus, then the Hyperion is gonna be dead. Their Orange Light's naturally dead. Their Maxi is naturally dead. If they run Veilers, their Veilers are naturally dead. And a lot of times they won't be able to get out Christia. Even if they do get out Christia, you can allow outs to you can chain it, you can blow it up later. You have a lot of outs. So this deck actually have a very, very, very good matchup against agents. Mainly because of the DeFi control, and you can again blow up everything to bring something else. And a lot of times you have turn one, you go you summon Thunder King, you go summon Thunder King, DeFi, of chain maybe bribe. It's pretty much won already because they can't get around that. They can't they can't do anything essentially. So that's pretty cool. So again, agents, good matchup against Dark World. I don't even have to tell you. You naturally smash up Dark World with this deck. You get out that DeFi, you get out that protection. You're golden. Your finish chain is not as live against Dark World because they don't really rely on their monster effect that much. But again, that DeFi though. That DeFi. So that's that. So Dark World, very easy win. You naturally have the upper advantage, so you should not lose unless draw the nuts on you. So that's that. Against Katakuri, also really pretty easy matchup. I never really have too much problem with Katakuri. The thing about Katakuri and a lot of other stun and control decks out there is this. Realize that once you have the DeFi out, if they were to synchro, if they were to do anything, they are rapidly minusing themselves because they can no longer do graveyard plays because of DeFi. So if they were to do some big play, they will minus their hand quite heavily. You stop their play with either an econ, a book, stop it for chain, and next turn you blow it up. They dwindle their hand rapidly and you get mass advantage, and that's it, and that's how you win. So essentially, I also never really had a big problem playing against Katakuri. I tend to win, so that's cool. Let's see what else. Plants, super easy matchup. I played against Billy Briggs Plants, and then that deck normally means 3 Veiler, 3 Maxis off the bat. So as soon as I put this thing down, there's 6 dead cards. Because very graveyard dependent, for them to make big pushes, to make big whatever, they have to use a lot of hand resources, and quickly it will dwindle down because of DeFi, and because I can simply blow anything they bring out next turn, or I can just chain and blow it up, or I can just stop econ, chain last stuff to stop them and blow it up next turn. There's very little they can do. So against plants, very easy. And actually, I'm not really shy to use econ too, because when I econ something away, next turn I actually just bring it back with Torgai into Levier, and boom, I get plays and plays and plays. So again, super cool. Some of the decks that this deck actually have a problem facing is rabbits, Dino Rabbits, because they're not reliant on the graveyard at all. So in other words, is that against Dino Rabbits, excuse me, DeFi is not going to do much to them. With that said, there are actually a lot of other cards in this deck. They're actually saving graces. So against Dino Rapids, the first thing you want to do is hope you don't draw into that much DeFi, whereas in other matchup you want to draw into DeFi as fast as possible. But in Dino Rapids, it's a bit different. But the cool thing about this deck is that you have the 3 finish chain, you have your econ, and those can stop Rabbit pretty easily. And you do have your negation. So if they try to go land something, you can stop that. And the cool thing about it is that if they were to go say summon rabbit, they make Lagia or they make a Doka, and you have Phoenix Chain set, what you can do next turn, just kind of ignore the Lagia and ignore it, just go off whatever effect you want to, and when they try to negate you, just flip in chain, lock down their Lagia, lock down their Doka, they'll destroy the whole back row and then destroy their monster. I did that many times, and I discovered that simply just by doing that kind of play, EUD wrecks rabbits. But again, I do have to say that if you if you open with 2 DeFi against rabbit, it's pretty hurt. You do feel the hurt from that. But aside from that, the 3 finish chain, the 2 econ, the 2 bribe, and the fact that you're playing Inzektor with such destruction power is a good counter, quote unquote, a counter against a lot of Dyna plays. So that's important to consider. And finally, and very importantly, against Inzektor mirror match, how this thing fare against Inzektor mirror match. People actually don't think it's that good against it mirror matches, but there's a lot of things they're not considering. Against Inzektor mirror matches with this build, it's almost like a race to speed. If you can get your hand on that fissure turn 1, turn 2 before they set up, that means all their setup cards are immediately dead. I play a few mirror matches where I go turn 1, I get that defissure, and I go defissure. Immediately, their Foolish is dead, their Mystic Tomato is dead, their Armageddon Knight's dead. A lot of them runs Summoner Monk. The Summoner Monk is relatively dead because they use it to get out Armageddon Knight, so that's kind of dead. So a lot of the set of cards immediately becomes dead, and I'll be able to beat them down with something before they can set up, or I can blow their stuff up before they can set up. So I can make bigger plays before they can, essentially. So against mirror match, it's like a race against draw. But even if you don't draw into your defissure, it's still cool because you have your Phoenix Chain to stop their plays. But in mirror match, the most important card that I believe is again enemy controller, because when they go Dragonfly, equip, detach, target something, you chain enemy controller, again something amazing happens. Do your research, you'll be astounded as well. So against mirror matches, this deck at first glance does not seem like that good because their effect goes around defissure. But when you really look into it, you look into play, actually analyze it, you can see that this deck has its own merits. So again, like I said earlier, try this thing in DN. Let me know how you think. This video is getting a little bit too long, so I hope you really enjoy this. I'll tell you guys in a day or two where I'll bring you another Inzektor build and whatnot, and then I'll talk about some ways to counter this thing. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.